Thank you for welcoming us to Miami.
Thank you.
What does this city mean to you?
Oh, Miami's my hometown. I moved here when I was 9 years old. It was a radical transition going from Madrid, Spain, to Miami. As you know, you've been to Miami multiple times, so it's very, very different.
What does it mean to you musically?
Musically, I thought that was the biggest advantage. I'm looking back now in retrospect, just because I had the whole Europe thing going on when I would go there in the summer and listen to songs that probably you wouldn't hear here on the radio. But then moving here to Miami, I would listen to a lot of Latin music, obviously, and a lot of top 40 music, a lot of pop music at the time.
20-some years at the top. Where do you find your inspiration nowadays?
Where do I find the strength, mainly? Inspiration is still music. I love music. There's something about connecting or writing a song that you just wish everyone could listen to in that very moment that excites you so much, and then being able to perform that in front of your fans. Those two things are unbeatable.
I like how it feels. I like how it feels. So just turn it up, let me go. I'm alive, yes you know, never stop. Give me more. 'Cause I like how it feels. Oh yeah, I like how it feels.
You say connecting. How do you decide on who to collaborate with when it comes to various songs?
A lot of it has to do with the song. I don't like to talk about collaborations before the song is written. And I know for some musicians out there that might not make sense, but I actually like writing the song or having the song and then thinking, okay, who can take the song in a different direction or to a different level? And I've been fortunate enough to work with artists that I truly, that I admire and that I love. And I've learned so much by just watching them work, which is also a very cool experience.
So how does your songs come about?
In the beginning of my career, I used to write most of it myself. Then as the years went on, I started co-writing a lot more.
And when you have a song, is it finished when you approach, say, J-Lo or Pitbull?
In the case of, like, for example, Pitt with I Like It, yes, the song was finished, and then he adds his thing to it. He adds the energy that he's got. With J-Lo, of course, she added a lot to the song. I had it, and a lot of times with some of these artists, you have to go there and you have to tell them, look, I really believe in this. You have to tell them yourself, because if not, obviously, I'm sure they have lots of people that ask them to collaborate on songs with them.
Which y'all consider the best? I consider mediocre. I want my bank accounts like Carter Slims or at least a mini Oprah. Baby, just close your eyes and imagine any part in the world I've been there. I'm like global warming, they think I just started heating things up, but I've been here.
Sex and Love, extremely successful album. How are you going to top this?
I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to top that every time. That's a lot of pressure, but just try to have fun and just try to do try to go with your gut, your instinct, and write the best songs possible and songs that truly move you. I think at this point in my career, I always tell everyone that I work with, let's not just do it because we have to do it. If we're going to do it, let's do it right. And if we're going to do it, let's make sure that it's truly the best thing we can do, because I don't think I have the energy to get on a plane and travel around the world and promote something that I'm not passionate about. So if I put a song out there, it's because I truly believe in it. It's because I honestly think it's good, and because I feel that people are going to connect with it, and I feel that my fans are going to like it. That's really why I put it out there.
Are you still going to walk the thin line between dance music and romantic songs?
I'm going to walk any line that I feel is a good song. That's the line I want to walk. I don't focus so much my albums on whether they're going to be more in Spanish, more urban leaning in Spanish, or more dance in English, or more rock. I just go with the flow and with whatever is the best song.
Es que yo sin ti, tú sin mí. Dime quién puede ser feliz. Esto no me gusta. Esto no me gusta. Es que yo sin ti y tú sin mí. Dime quién puede ser feliz. Esto no me gusta. Eso no me gusta. Yo sin ti no aguanto.
How do you pick your producers?
A lot of it is connecting with that person. You could be working with the best producer in the world, but that doesn't mean that person is gonna be right for you. So it's a big percentage is how the chemistry and how you guys get along personally. Because remember, you're going to be living with that person in the studio, so it's not an easy thing. You got to figure out, it's trial and error, and if there's magic, then you stick together and you try to make the best music possible.
Max Martin, difficult to avoid that name.
Yeah.
When you're talking about Sweden.
It's difficult to, it's practically impossible.
Yeah, it is. He's one of the most successful producers out there. How is it to work with him?
Well, with Max, it's crazy because Sweden, the producers that I've met that have come out of Sweden, from someone like Red One, Max Martin, Rami, just so much talent. I don't know what, I know that they teach music from a very early age, but it's spectacular, the talent that Sweden has. It's mind-boggling and it's intimidating.
So I keep living, 'cause it feels right, and it's so nice, and I do it all again this time. It's forever, it gets better, and I like how it feels.
What makes them stick out compared to other producers, in your opinion?
The one thing that sticks out the most when it comes down to Swedish music is lyrics are important, but they're very melodic. And I don't think, I feel that Sweden is not the type of place, at least this is my perspective from the outside, that doesn't care if it's cool or not cool. They care about the song. They care about good music. I mean, good music, good songs. And that's what they gravitate towards. And that's what I felt with the producers that I've worked with that have come out of Sweden, you know? And that's really what it's about. It's just making sure that it's a good song, whether it's what's hot or what's going on at the time. I think it's more about the melody, the lyrics, and just putting out good songs out there.
And maybe our good listeners listen to you and with your ideas as well.
I think so. I think that has a lot to do with it. But let's not fool ourselves. There's the talent in Sweden it's unbelievable.
Si te vas, yo también me voy. Si me das, yo también te doy mi amor. Bailamos hasta la 10, hasta que duelan los pies. Si te vas, yo también me voy. Si me das, yo también te doy mi amor. Bailamos hasta la 10, hasta que duelan los pies. Te duele el corazón y conmigo te duelen los pies.
You're coming back to Sweden soon.
Yes.
What are you looking forward to?
I'm nervous because I haven't been to Sweden in concert in a long time, but I'm extremely eager to go back because I feel that I have so many songs that I haven't sang there live. The last time I performed there was when I had my album Escape. I was a kid. Now I'm an old man. And there's just so many songs that I've written and I've performed since then, you know, anywhere for anything from like I Like It.
Baby, I like it, the way you move on the floor. Baby, I like it, come on and give me some
To Tonight,
you. Oh, you know that tonight I'm loving you.
to Bailando,
Bailando, bailando, tu cuerpo y el mío llenando el vacío, subiendo y bajando.
to El Perdón,
Buscando por la calle gritando, esto me está matando. Oh no.
So I'm eager to perform all these songs in front of my fans, and obviously go back to the stuff that I did in the beginning of my career. You know, whether it's Hero, whether it's Bailamos, whether it's some of the Spanish stuff.
So it's going to be a mix on the tour of old songs, new
Everything.
songs. Yeah.
Old, new, Spanish, English, everything.
You released a new single, Subeme la Radio.
Yeah.
You shot it in Cuba.
Shot it in Cuba. The great thing about music in Spanish now is that if it's got a rhythm, I think people have tendency to understand it better, people that don't speak Spanish. And it's a good time for Latin music. Back in the day in 2000, they said there was a Latin explosion. To me, that I always took that as, like, it wasn't an explosion. I thought it was something that was going to grow progressively, little by little. And we're at at that point now, where in 2017, I think people are totally open to music in Spanish. And nowadays, which is great for artists that sing in Spanish and that sing in English, both, or if you just sing in Spanish, obviously.
I'm listening to radio in Sweden. You hear a lot of Spanish songs, especially yours, and you hear from other countries, other languages as well. Is it a good song? It's a good song. It doesn't matter what language it is.
Yeah.
Súbeme a la radio que esta es mi canción. Siente el bajo que va subiendo. Tráeme el alcohol que quita el dolor. Hoy vamos a juntar la luna y el sol.
Huyendo del pasado en cada madrugada.
You've been in the business for quite a long time. How has media changed over the years?
I think there's good things and obviously bad things. The bad things is that the negative thing is that everything moves very fast, extremely at a fast pace. So it even happens to me. When you listen to a song, you give it the first 30 seconds and you move on. Everything's rapid fire, and that creates a lot of pressure, especially when you have to write songs, because it's a creative process, and it could take weeks or it could take years. And from the perspective of being able to get in contact with your fans immediately, that's great. That's actually really good. That's unbelievable that you could put something out there and immediately get in contact with your fans and tell them what it's all about, what you're doing. That's really cool.
How active are you in social media?
I'm pretty active. My favorite form of media would probably be Instagram.
Yeah. Facebook, not so much?
Facebook and Instagram. Those are my two favorites.
How has the media climate changed?
Again, with media, everything is so rapid that I feel that a lot of times they're not fact-checking. It's the same as the music business. Everything's become so fast that the minute you read something, you gotta put it out. Yeah. And you don't have as much time to investigate it. So therefore, sometimes there's errors and people are misinformed.
Are you extra careful today what to say and when to say and how to say?
No, I always say a lot of shit, and I always say, I try to be myself.
Yeah.
I try to be myself, and there's always going to be mistakes you're going to make, but...
You have an extremely successful career. Let's say you're 15 years old today, and you have a good voice, you want to do something in music. What advice would you give Enrique, 15 years old?
I think I would give the same advice that I would have given you 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. Most important is to make sure you write your songs or know what it's like to write a song, because ultimately that's what you're going to depend on. It's all about the music and the song. Let's not fool ourselves. Obviously, yeah, if with that comes charisma and great stage presence, there's a lot of people out there that can sing. There's a lot of people out there that are great musicians. But maybe there's not as many people out there that can communicate to the fans the way that others do, So that's extremely important, and making sure that if you're doing that, there's some connection to the song. So if you know what it's like to write, you're always gonna, even if the song you end up putting out there is not your song that you've written, you still know what it's like to connect with the song at a personal level. I think that's. I think you can't just depend on not to take away any credit from the record companies, but you should depend on your own writing, and that's really what's gonna help you, I think, longevity in your career.
Yo te miro y se me corta la respiración. Cuando tú me miras se me sube el corazón. Me palpita lento el corazón. Y en un silencio tu mirada dice mil palabras. La noche en la que te suplico que no salga el sol.
Bailando, bailando, bailando.
Last year we lost some big stars like George Michael and Prince. What have they meant to you?
Faith was the album that, when I was a kid, I probably replayed the most over and over and over and over again. I think George Michael was a true genius. And Prince, what can I tell you about Prince? Prince is probably my, as a singer-performer, probably my number one favorite of all time.
Do you have them in your personal playlist?
not only do I have them, I've been inspired by a lot of their songs, you know, and their lyrics. I think both of them were geniuses, you know, and Prince was a true genius when it came down to lyrics. And George Michael just, as a singer, as a songwriter, and as a producer, he did everything too. And gone way too soon.
When you don't work, what do you listen to for inspiration?
I listen to radio a lot, believe it or not. I like to drive, get in the car and just listen to the radio, because there's always, listening to songs on the radio feel always different. You know, there's an energy about it that just, you can't duplicate when you're home, or you're just playing as an MP3 or, you know, on some device. I like listening to the radio.
How do you reinvent yourself as an artist?
The best way to reinvent yourself is musically, but not overthink it too much. For me, I gotta say that I have a little bit of an advantage because I'm able to sing in English and Spanish, and that helps me kind of go through different styles easier than probably an artist that just sings in Spanish, or an artist that just sings in English, or an artist that just sings in Swedish. I think, I don't know. But that's helped me a lot, personally.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.